हमारे देश में ज़्यादातर लोग ऑफिस पैदल जाते हैं और उसके बाद एक बड़ी आबादी बस से जाती है, क्योंकि 50% लोगों का घर से ऑफिस का डिस्टेंस 5 किलोमीटर से कम ही रहता है। और ये पैटर्न दोनों गाँवों में और शहरों में पाया गया है। तो एक गांव या शहर के लिए सबसे सही मोड ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट कौन सा रहेगा, इसका डिसीजन कैसे होता है?
See, the choice between one mode or the other for transport in any region is really dependent on the kind of carrying capacity that is needed and what it costs to create that carrying capacity. The process followed in government is typically a project report is prepared, and that project report is first examined by a technical committee, then by an interministerial official committee, and finally goes to a committee of the cabinet. So the question really is about how well that report is prepared and how sincerely it has evaluated the different options that are followed.
लेकिन अचानक से हमारे देश में ये मेट्रो ऑब्सेशन क्यों हो गया?
Quite often, the enthusiasm to get a metro rail project tends to make that report a little ambitious. Sometimes it is also because demand estimation models for transport are extremely complex and is not really possible to project future ridership very accurately. So these could be some reasons why metros often tend to get approved for cities where they may not be required immediately.
तो मेट्रो ये कह के बनाया गया कि वो हमारे रोड कंजेशन और एयर पोल्यूशन को कम कर देगा। दिल्ली में फेज़ 1 का काम खत्म होता है 2006 में और फेज़ 2 2011 में, और फेज़ 3 का काम अभी भी चल ही रहा है। तो आज के एपिसोड में हम फेज़ 1 और 2 को ध्यान में रखकर बात करेंगे। 2001 में दिल्ली का एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स था 150, जो बढ़ते बढ़ते 2017 में 263 हो गया था। इस बढ़ती पोल्यूशन को देखते हुए एनवायरनमेंट पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल अथॉरिटी ने कहा कि अगर ये पोल्यूशन इसी तरह बढ़ता रहा तो दिल्ली के रास्तों पर सारे नॉन सीएनजी गाड़ियों को बैन कर दिया जाएगा या ऑड इवन पॉलिसी को फिर लागू किया जाएगा। तो ऐसा नहीं था कि मेट्रो से लोग ट्रैवल नहीं कर रहे थे, लेकिन जो एक्सपेक्टेड राइडरशिप था वो नहीं मिल रहा था। फेज़ 1 के 12 साल बाद गवर्नमेंट रिकॉर्ड्स कहती है कि मेट्रो में रोज़ 25.7 लाख लोग ट्रैवल कर रहे थे, लेकिन उसी समय दिल्ली के बसों में 40 लाख लोग ट्रैवल कर रहे थे। अब अगर हम सिचुएशन को एनालाइज करें तो मेट्रो में बहुत पैसा डाला जा रहा था, नए कोचेस बन रहे थे, नए लाइंस बन रहे थे, लेकिन यही समय बसों की अगर बात करें तो दिल्ली बीआरटी बंद हो चुका था, बसों का अपग्रेडेशन नहीं हो रहा था, रास्तों से बसें कम होती जा रही थी, लेकिन इनके बावजूद बसों का परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा था। तो सारा खर्चा, सारा प्रमोशन के बाद भी मेट्रो लो राइडरशिप क्यों दे रही थी?
You know, the experience from around the world has been that metro systems typically don't get the kind of ridership that is projected in the early years. You know, studies done in the United States have seen that a large number of metros built in that country have consistently seen lower ridership than what was projected. And part of the reason could be that travel demand or traffic does not pick up as quickly as some of these estimations expect. So, this could be a problem with the way travel demand is projected or the kind of models that are used for travel demand projections. So, this is not just in India, it's sort of all over the place. Now, coming to the Delhi Metro's ridership, well, the Delhi Metro ridership is much higher than in any other cities in India. But if you compare it with some of the older systems, say for Bombay, the Mumbai suburban system is carrying about 7 million people a day, whereas Delhi is still carrying only about 3.5 million people a day. And I think part of that reason is again because Mumbai is a linear city. You have fewer corridors and a large number of people using those few corridors. That's what gets Bombay Metro or Mumbai Metro a much higher ridership than you see in Delhi. Other cities like Seoul, like Moscow in fact has a lower population than Delhi, but the Moscow Metro is carrying 8 million people a day. So those are the numbers that we need to keep in mind when we think about what is a good ridership for a metro system. So Delhi Metro, if you look at it from that kind of an international perspective or that kind of a comparison, is perhaps a little lower than what other cities are seeing. But within India, its ridership is very good. I have a feeling that if we take trouble in enhancing densities around the metro station, improving access to the metro system, we will see much higher ridership even in the Delhi Metro.
तो एक एलिवेटेड मेट्रो प्रोजेक्ट के लिए 250 करोड़ रुपीस लगता है, अंडरग्राउंड के लिए 450 टू 500 करोड़ रुपीस, और अगर सेम लेवल पे मेट्रो है तो 125 करोड़। लेकिन ये जो सारा खर्चा है ये हमने खुद के बल पर नहीं किया है, सबसे बड़ा हिस्सा हमने जापान के जायका से कर्ज में ली है। तो मेट्रो का खर्चा उसके टिकट प्राइस से रिकवर नहीं हो सकता है। इसके और कौन कौन से रेवेन्यू सोर्सेस हैं ये देखते हैं।
They're actually running at loss, and while they're running at loss, if you only look at the fare box revenue, that is what they're collecting from from tickets, its share is shrinking, and what is actually helping them in this condition is the amount of money that is coming from external external projects, and consultancy. What that means is that DMRC or Delhi Metro Rail Corporation is earning money from building other metro projects. So if if you understand it properly, it basically means that Delhi Metro has an interest in building further metro projects in other parts of India, in other cities. For example, in Lucknow Metro, the AMRC, if you look at Lucknow Metro, it's complete replication of what Delhi Metro Rail Corporation has done in Delhi Metro in Delhi. Most of the systems and most of the characteristics are exactly replicated. So what DMRC is basically doing is that it's earning money from building more metros. So and it's also doing consultancy, which basically means that they're preparing the DPRs, project reports for these metro projects, which are basically the justification for building of or construction of these metro projects.
2019 के इलेक्शन मैनिफेस्टो में बीजेपी ने और नए 50 शहरों में मेट्रो ले आने की बात की है, लेकिन अभी जब हम एक इकोनॉमिक स्लोडाउन से गुजर रहे हैं, क्या मेट्रो एक सही ऑप्शन है? स्पेशली तब जब हम बाकी सारे ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑप्शंस को इग्नोर करते आ रहे हैं। जैसे दिल्ली में ऑलरेडी एक सबर्बन रेल सर्विस है जिसे गवर्नमेंट पिछले कुछ सालों से इग्नोर करती आ रही है।
We probably don't need metro even in the bigger cities, and we should. This is outright lie that smaller cities will benefit from metro system. In Lucknow or in Jaipur, and not more than 10,000, 15,000 people are using them on a daily basis, which is very, very poor as for a mass transport to to actually run a city which has more than probably 20 lakh people.
I don't think it's a good idea to keep building metro systems in so many cities the way we have been doing it so far. These are not only expensive, but they incur a heavy recurring loss every year. Now, public transport systems do make losses, that is acceptable, but the extent of loss needs to be minimized by making sure that we don't build systems which are over expensive. They need to keep in mind the kind of ridership they would get, what the losses would be. These are the kinds of things that need to be kept in mind. I think the way we have been doing it in so many cities today may not be the best thing to do. They would create a liability in perpetuity, and this would not be a very healthy thing to do. So I think we should be careful in how we decide which cities to take up for building so many metro systems.
आज का एपिसोड देख के आपको क्या लगता है? मेट्रो एक लग्जरी है या नेसेसिटी? कमेंट के माध्यम से ज़रूर बताइए।